Dear students, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to our new English session. Today, inshallah, during this session, we will continue with the same passage we read during our live session about Maddie and the homeless pets. We are going to discuss the questions, but before we start doing this, just a quick summary to our story. We said that the story is about a girl. Her name is Maddie. She is living in a place that is hit usually with hurricane. Okay, after a hurricane, many pets lost their owners, and the people in their community gathered them in an emergency shelter. So Maddie decided to help, and she found that the best way to help this shelter by gathering food for the animals. She gathered this food from her school. She asked her friends to donate the food and the supplies for the shelter. Okay, now we will go with the first question we have here on page 3. Which event happens first in the passage? The question is very clear, asking about the first event of all in our story. The choices: Maddie turns on the television for news, 10 inches of rain falls on North Carolina, Maddie gets her classmates to donate food for pets, Maddie's school is closed because of the weather report. If we look up the first thing we are going to read about here: one day her school is closed because of an ominous weather forecast that a hurricane is on the way. So the answer will be D. The answer for number 1 is going to be D. After that, 2. Read this sentence. One day her school is closed because of an ominous weather forecast that a hurricane is on the way. What does ominous mean in the sentence above? What do you think? Is it a good thing to happen? Is a hurricane a good thing to happen? Or is it a bad thing? Usually, people are waiting for a hurricane happily, or they are afraid of the hurricane. Of course, it is a natural disaster, so it is not a good thing, right? Our choices: we have false, possible, hopeful, and threatening. What do you think? I think the answer should be threatening. It is danger. Okay, so number 2, the answer should be letter I. After that, what happens after the storm but before Maddie decides not to open a lemonade stand? He is asking about an event and telling us between which 2 events we should search for our answer. Let's read our choices. The first one: Maddie's teacher likes her idea. B. Maddie holds a kitten on her lap. C. Dogs and cats are wandering around loose. The last one: Maddie collects pet food from her classmates. Let's look we need to find this event to start from it till we reach the other event and to see which one of these choices is written between these two events. So the first event we need to find the storm after the storm, okay, and before not to open the lemonade stand. Here this happened after the storm. In this paragraph, the reporter says volunteers and the Humane Society have opened an emergency shelter for lost pets at the county fairgrounds. Anyone who had to leave a home and needs a safe place for a pet can bring it to the shelter to stay for now. The people at the shelter need help from the community and are requesting donations of pet food. In this part here, this is the part where she decided not to make a lemonade stand. So in this part, which sentence or which choice can be our answer? If we look down again, she didn't tell the teacher about her idea. She didn't hold any cat. Dogs and cats are wandering around loose. Yeah, this one is the event that happened between these two other events. So number 3, the answer is letter C. After that, what happens at the end of the passage? The last event of our story is what? Maddie worries about lost pets. Maddie holds a kitten for a few minutes. Maddie thinks about having another food drive. Or the reporter says animals at the shelter need food. Let's have a look. Here, driving home, Maddie has a new thought. Maybe she can find a permanent animal shelter that needs donations. It would be fun to have another food drive, especially if everyone pitches in to help. Which one of them? I think it should be letter H. Maddie thinks about having another food drive. This is the part we read here. It would be fun to have another food drive. So, number 4, the answer is letter H. The answer is letter H. After that, number 5, read this sentence. The torrential rain of a hurricane often causes flooding. What does torrential mean in the sentence above? What do you think? What is the level of the rain that would turn or would cause a flood? Can it be just few drops of rain, or it should rain a lot? Is it gentle rain, or is it heavy rain, or unexpected or welcome? Of course, to cause a flood we need a lot of water, so it should be letter B, heavy rain or torrential rain. So torrential means heavy. The answer here for 5 is letter B. After that, read this sentence. Mom lost her job arranging flowers at the floral shop when it went out of business, and Dad's company cut his hours last week. What does floral mean in the sentence? I think this one is too easy, because here he mentioned her job is about what? Arranging flowers. So, what is the floral shop? Best or designer or flower or pastry? Of course, it would be flower. So, the answer for number 6 is letter H, flower. After that, what happens after Maddie watches the news report but before she gets a good idea? Also, asking about the order or the sequence of the events, we need to find which event happened between these two events. What about our choices? She makes a poster, she draws pictures of cats and dogs, she drives to the shelter with her dad, or she thinks of asking her parents to help. Let's have a look. Here, this is the report. So after that, we already said this paragraph about the first idea she got about starting a lemonade stand. And then here, next, Maddie thinks about asking her parents for money, yet asking them may not be a good idea, because her mother lost her job and the father, his company cut his hours last week. And finally, Maddie gets a good idea. So let's have a look again at our choices. She makes a poster. No, we didn't read this. She draws pictures. No. She drives to the shelter. Also no. Nothing of these events happened in the part we read. So the answer would be the last one. She thinks of asking her parents to help. The answer for number 7 is letter D. After that, read this sentence. Because Maddie really wants to help, she resolves to find a way. What does resolves mean? The context clue in this part here is very obvious. He said Maddie really wants to help. Of course, really wants to help doesn't fit with weekly tries. And here, works again. She didn't try the first time to say again. Firmly decides or sharply decides. Yeah, sharply or firmly decides to find a way. She decides to find a way to help. So the answer for number 8 will be letter H. After that, read the sentence. She suggests that Maddie make a card to deliver with the food so that all the students who collaborate to help the shelter by donating food can sign their names. What does collaborate mean? I think you studied this word before, and even to use the context clue here, so that all the students who collaborate to help the shelter. What do you think? They did what to help the shelter? They think of other ideas, or they work together, or they refuse, or they vote? Of course, they work together to gather to collect the food for the shelter. So the answer for number 9, the meaning for the word collaborate is letter B, work together. Question number 10. What happens before Maddie ties balloons to the box but after she makes a poster? make sure about the sequence. Here the sequence is coming upside down. He started with the last action and then he gave us the first action that we need to find. So we need to find something happened after making the poster and before tying the balloons. Let's have a look. Here she made the poster, then at the top it says help the pets. Okay, she adds a newspaper article about the emergency shelter and then draws pictures of cats and dogs. She also gives some examples of kinds of pet food. In the garage, Maddie finds a big cardboard box. She decorates it with pictures of animals. All of this happened after making the poster. And then also here we didn't reach till now we didn't reach the part of the balloons here down here, so we need to check all this part. The other day she went to the school and she talked to her teacher. She put the box and the poster, and also here they suggest to make a card to deliver till she ties the balloons. So what about our choices? She talks to her teacher. Yes, actually this is the answer, but anyway, let's check the rest of our choices. Maddie hears about the flooding. No, this happened earlier. Maddie thinks about ways she can help. Also, this happened earlier. Maddie's classmates bring food to donate for pets. This happened after. So the answer for question number 10 is letter F. Maddie talks to her teacher. And this is the end of our session. I hope you understood all the questions that we discussed. If you have any question, please send it to me on Classera, and see you in another session. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.